Anthony Hertwig here with another volleyball season preview. We're going into Middle Ridge, and the head coach of the Rams, Ron Lesko, talking to us about another exciting season in Middle Ridge. Coach, thanks for coming on and talking to us about the season.
Sure, thanks. Glad to be here.
So, before we talk about the excitement of this year, let's kind of have a recap of last year, get volleyball fresh in the fans' minds, and what you think the returning players from last year can kind of learn from last season's experience.
Well, they were role players last year, and I think from watching some of the kids that had to carry more of the load, they understand what's going to be required of them this season.
I think everyone knows, you lose a player like Ava Hewlett, you're going to have, players have to step up into bigger roles. What's it been like this summer seeing the, hitters trying to kind of come into their own roles? You also lost Brooklyn Doherty. You lost hitters.
Yeah,
What's it like seeing hitters trying to step up and get into bigger roles this year?
all three of those seniors, Gianna Wilson, Ava Hewlett, Brooklyn Gilardi. I mean, it's rough to lose that much experience from your senior class, but it is what it is. And these kids that are stepping into these roles this year, we're a little bit young. Really only had one senior get a lot of time last year, which was Maddie Gerberry. She's dealing with a little bit of a shoulder issue right now, so we're going to see where that takes her. But then McKenna Barker looks like she might be stepping up to be, if she's not the left side hitter, she maybe play right side. We're still trying to get things figured out right now. Then we got some young kids that are really coming into their own. Bristol Mills going to play middle for us. Only played JVs last year. Mia Barta really is picking up, taking her skill level up to the next level. It's good to see her performing as well as she is. And, we still have the two twins, the Sandy girls. Another year under her belt for Sullivan to be setting. Just another year of gained experience with the offense that we're going to run. We are going to continue to try and run quick things. So, and then Tomlin another year under her belt with JOs and being a DS. So, they're all going to need to step up, though, for us to have a successful season.
You've been coaching a long time. This is not new to you. You've lost important seniors before. What are some of your philosophies in trying to build up new players and new roles and trying to get them confidence in a hurry? Because you don't have a lot of time for them to waver.
I'm a firm believer, and I try and get the message across to my kids. Listen, if we want to play competitive volleyball, you have to be able to really attack the ball. You can't be trying to place the ball and keep it in play, because that's just not going to win you tough matches against good teams. They need to be able to trust themselves, hit the ball hard. And I tell them all the time, I can live with physical mistakes. I don't care if the ball lands 2-3 feet out of bounds. If you just went back and you ripped it, I just try and stress, we can handle physical mistakes, but the mental mistakes is something that we really need to clean up.
Let's talk about this schedule that you have. We'll start with the MVAC Scarlet Tier, always a competitive conference. What do you see out of it this year, and what do you think Middle Ridge can do inside of the MVAC?
I'm always just looking for us to be competitive. Our conference is pretty tough. You always have the standards that are up there, but I really look to see like some of those other schools being able to step it up. I thought Lowville looked pretty good last year. I thought they were going the right direction. Obviously, Waterloo took one off of us last year. And then you got the standards. There's a lot of good teams in our conference. So you got to come ready to play every night for our conference matches.
And you never shy away from a tough non-conference schedule. Who are some teams that pop up on it this year that you're really excited to test your team against?
Our non-conference matches, like, probably the top of the list there would be Canfield. I didn't really we were at YSU together. We did not play each other. I had a very limited roster while I was there. And it's my understanding that they're a pretty solid team. I did see them a little bit, but I really didn't get to watch them play a whole lot. So Canfield's on our schedule. Lakeview is always tough. They run a great program. They're on our schedule. We picked up East Palestine this year. I did see them down at YSU, they have some solid athletes. We're going back to the team over, and we played them in the playoffs. Oh, figures, I'm drawing a blank right now. Over Hartville, Lake Christian. So we're going back to them. They're a solid program. So I really do try and make our out of conference schedule a little bit tougher, all in preparation to get us ready for the playoffs.
Let's also talk about the next couple of weeks, your scrimmages and your practices. This is really the only time in the whole season that you get consistent practice time in the gym. When the season starts, you're going to get maybe 1 or 2 practices a week if you're lucky with the workload per week in the games. What are some of the checklists and some of the things you want to work on the next couple of weeks that you want to make sure are done and taken care of before game 1?
The biggest emphasis, and me and Coach Wright both feel this is extremely important. Our kids need to be able to communicate better on the floor. And then not only communicate, like I've been using this phrase with them, just use your words, girls, use your words. So to communicate with each other, get excited for each other when things are going well, when somebody makes a great play. I just want them to play with a lot of excitement and a lot of support for each other. That is one of the biggest things I would love to see this group change.
Then let's talk about your coaching staff. We always want to highlight them because we know that even though you get the interviews, you're not doing it by yourself. So highlight your staff and the people that you have that are really building this Middle Ridge program to what it is.
Well, I'll start down at the middle school. The coaches down there are Coach Alt and Coach Dooley. They're doing a great job, really emphasizing this year, trying to make sure that these girls fundamentally are ready to come up as freshmen, ready to be in a role that's, they're able to perform at a high school level right away. And that is emphasized by all of the fundamentals that we need to make sure that we instill in those kids. And then obviously, I think I have the best JV or assistant coach, JV coach in the area. Katie Wright is absolutely phenomenal. What she brings to the coaching world is exceptional. That she could be a head coach for anybody and run a successful program. And I'm just lucky to have her.
So we're talking about your staff. Not every coach has the pleasure to have the same assistants every year. There's a lot of turnover nowadays, and coaches getting new opportunities or life getting in the way. You've had the consistent staff for a while. What's it like to kind of have that consistent group and the consistent kind of idea of what you want in the program? And it shows the girls that there's consistency as well.
It's unbeatable. Me and Coach Wright have been together since we've started at Mineral Ridge, and we kind of have this ongoing thing. I always threaten her. If you're done, I'm done. That's just the way it's going to be. And she always like, oh my God, okay, I guess I'm just going to come back then. And she loves it. She loves being around the girls. And just for the most part, me and her are pretty much always on the same page. There's always little things like we have to discuss, which is a good thing. Like if we, you're always looking like, oh, I saw this, or maybe let's try this. And, then we try and work it out. But that's how you grow as a staff, and you get your team to grow, as players. So, I just feel really lucky to have her with me. And it's, again, it's just great. And she's a good friend of mine too. We've known each other a really long time. It took me a long time to convince her to coach with me. And I just hope she's enjoying herself.
I imagine that she is, Coach, or else she wouldn't keep coming back to it. We want to thank you so much for your time and talking to us about this season. We're excited for it. We'll be out there for plenty of games covering you guys, and we can't wait to see you again real soon.
All right. Thank you very much.